Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, Monday, the 14th of November. I'm Giovanni Betancourt, analyst, trader, and educator with Vantage Markets. Well, let's begin the week by saying rate hikes help break FTX. What the Fed does next will obviously be the latest news on the collapsing crypto trading platform FTX. Is that millions of dollars of funds appear to have been taken out with permission. Now, that follows the firm's bankruptcy filing on Friday, which came only days after rival Binance walked away from a takeover. At one point, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried had to deny he had fled to South America. It's hard to keep up. Predictably, there is also a chorus now chiming in, say the story isn't really about crypto. Tim Draper, a crypto bull, says SBF got ahead of his skis. Mark Cuban suggests he was just greedy. Perhaps it's more productive to ask bigger questions. Is this the end of crypto as an asset class, or just another bump on the road to widespread use? Now, who tipped the first domino that started FTX demise? There have been some fingers pointed at Binance founder Changpeng Zhao, but arguably it was Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, whose aggressive interest rate hikes brutally exposed all sorts of companies that were relying on cheap money. The most pressing issue for investors is whether the crypto mayhem will spill over into other areas. So far, the signs are good. After initially appearing to affect sentiment in the stock market, cooling inflation seems to be keeping equities higher even as Bitcoin stays lower. Now, that is a good sign for stocks. But if the Fed is going to keep hiking until something breaks, Powell might just keep going until another domino falls. And with that being said, let's take a look at what we can read out about this week's markets. Well, so if we analyze what the market are doing so far, and we use, let's say, for example, the Fibonacci extensions tools, and we measure from the high of August 16th to the low of September 13th, and then we can say that the retracement that the Nasdaq has done so far from that low, it equates that it has gone above the 0.38% mark on the Fibonacci extension tool, which indicates or helps technical analysis say that this will be an area of resistance, and so the market will come towards it. And if this downtrend was a strong downtrend, or a continuation of that downtrend was to continue, then this level will be there where the market will turn around again and make another attempt lower, like it did on 25th of October. But in this case, it didn't. So now that this has been broken, then the next percentage would be the Fibonacci golden ratio of 0.618%. So far, we can speculate really, that the momentum for Nasdaq or for equity so far is to the upside, and the next level that we could probably come and find some resistance will be right around a psychological level of 12,500, just to round things up. Okay, but that's where the golden ratio is pointing towards. So we could probably speculate that's where the market will come to. Okay, RSI is pretty healthy, so that could most likely happen. So that's where we are right now on the Nasdaq. And as far as for the S&P 500, well, we are a bit higher on that. And if we obviously use the same tool from the high to the low and extend that tool, then we could say, all right, we are actually at that point where the golden ratio will act as a resistance. And here will be the point where we could say, okay, here is where the market should stop and then just retrace. But also for the bulls will be a good indication whether are we going to be seeing the market continue to move to the upside, right? This is obviously, if the resistance is broken, okay, then we'll use the extensions Fibonacci tool to see how far up will it go. Now, so far from the low of the 13th of October, which was 3,500, right around, we are 400, right about 490 points, 500 points up to the upside. So okay, so that is a pretty good rally. All right, so far we need to wait and see if we're gonna be able to break the resistance and then fluctuate over to 4,100, which is where I have my own resistance. And then as per crude oil, I'm looking at crude oil for right now to consolidate around these levels between now and Wednesday, when we have more information about the crude oil market inventories. So let's precise see that and see where we could obviously move. Now, one thing that I left out about the equities market is that the VIX, which is this one right here, is looking to move even lower. It moved towards 20, okay, or 21, which is the low of August 11th. Will help obviously the equity stock market move higher. So keep that in mind. 20, movement towards for the VIX to continue to move lower, right? Yes, as it has been doing so far. So 24, 23, 22, 21. As the VIX moves lower, you'll see that momentum pick up in the equities market. So for crude oil, consolidation around the $87 marker. For Nat Gas, consolidation around $6, about $5.50 below $6.30. I'm looking for gold to also do a consolidation stage for right now. 1750 is my support. 1780 psychological resistance, but I'm looking at for it to just really stay calm right now in awaiting the results of the G20. The President Biden and President Xi they were meeting previous to the G20 meeting to see if they're gonna come out with a way to avoid war. So that's the most important thing out of that meeting between them two. Let's see what happens. Now, silver as well, doing a bit of more consolidation. Perhaps another attempt at $22 could be contemplated. And then as far as for copper, we haven't seen copper in a few. I was saying that I was bullish on copper. Copper has moved to the upside. Now perhaps a consolidation stage could be also taking place before another attempt at $4 to be taken out. And then we have Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin has made a nice movement here, violating the resistance level. Should we close above that and then make another attempt higher, 18,000 will be our next psychological resistance level, and let's see if that will be the case for it. The euro, okay, euro has already broken my resistance, so I'm gonna move higher my resistance to 104ish, about that level. So that's where you could probably see the euro comes towards. Then the pound consolidation around 117, 118, and Mr. Dollar Index continues to make a move lower, even though it opened up with a higher gap. RSI is still neutral, so we could probably make another attempt at breaking 106 or visiting 106 and see if that will be taken out. And then obviously we have the VIX as it moves lower towards 23, 22. Let's see how long it would take it to revisit 21, and that movement to the downside will obviously help equities stock market. All right, that's my levels and my analysis for today. Have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.